favorite time of the year. It is college football Saturday. We've got the biggest card of college football so far this season, plus World Series Game 4 lost in the mix. I haven't even done a video for that one yet. I'm going to probably shoot it after the show. Got a pretty interesting card of games here. Of course, the nice thing about this season is most of the games that we see are conference play. And that's great because those are always the best games anyway. It's like we don't have to watch like Alabama against a Division II team. We don't have to watch, Florida hosting, UTEP or something. It's like all those games are out of the mix, and it's just conference play, which I think you should have out-of-conference games. I just think that I think the scheduling of the out-of-conference games should be done by an independent party, and I think then you would get some of these good matchups that you get. It's kind of unfair that you see some of the teams play these heavy-duty out-of-conference schedules like Texas A&M plays, and then you have other teams that get ducked by other teams, right? And then you have the ones that play, their local schools, which are, all the ones that get the scraps after, them and everyone else has recruited the area. But it doesn't really matter. Speaking of scraps, we got the gang is all here. Got Brian Bittler, Chris Ruffalo, and Rod Zawacki. Rod's got his notes. I have my notes with me. These are my premium picks that I did, and I had a long list of games, and I'm gonna let you guys know which games didn't make the list as we go over these, and I'm gonna tell you guys why they didn't make my premium picks. But they were close, but they weren't premium picks, and I'm gonna let you guys know why. And for some of these other guys, they're probably gonna say, "Damn, man, I put that as a premium pick, or I'm on the other side anyway, or whatever." So I don't know. I just figured I had this, and I was like, "Man, I should just bring this to the show." I mean, I have this all the time. I have this every day, so I might as well use them, right? Especially during on bigger days like today, tomorrow, and when college basketball starts. And okay, good news from the NBA, right? That they're actually going to start a little bit earlier than what they said they were going to do. And they say, let's figure out everything as we go. We're going to have fans, no fans, whatever. It's weird, man, because Hawaii has opened back up, and it's like it is just already a totally different place. It's like we don't have nearly as many tourists as we normally have, but we have a ton. And it's like it's just a totally different place, and let's just say this is when it comes in handy to play golf at a private club. Anyways, sorry. If anyone wants to come and play, though, I can get you in as a guest. No problem. No problem.
You gotta fly me out. There.
Yeah, and it's like the thing is, I get the if you play like with a member, it's like it's reasonable, for a round of golf. But if you just come like as a member of the public, they charge you, full rack, man. It's like $300 a round or something.
I gotta bring my foot wedge too. So
I don't think that's gonna help you at King K, man. that dog's got some teeth, man. They redid the greens about a month ago. They punched the greens, so like normally it takes like a while, and they're normally slow or whatever. This place, like they roll them so much, it's like I already knocked one. I had like an 8-foot putt. I probably had 17 feet coming back on one of them yesterday. But anyways, we got a good card of college football today. Lot to choose from. So I think these are my strongest premium picks that I think I've had of the season. I was 2-1 yesterday. I lost the World Series game, I'm sure. Everyone's all the squares that Dodgers run the line, and it was like I think I was a little emotional with my Rays pick, because it's like there's no way I could put my money on that bet, right? It's like I'd rather not bet at all, It's like than have to bet on Walker Buehler and whatever, man.
You should have done what I did and just stay away from baseball.
Yeah, that's what I should have done. I hit both my football games, and it's like my college football. It's like I don't want to jinx myself, but my last couple weeks has been a lot better than when I started the season, when there wasn't as much to choose from, and we didn't have as much to see. And my picks have gotten a lot better, and
yesterday,
I had a guy.
Tulsa?
What's that?
Sorry, I was going to say yesterday we all talked about Jacksonville State, Tulsa. Wisconsin down the road. It was a good broadcast yesterday.
Yeah, it was. Wisconsin was just pretty much exactly what we expected. You know, it's like once they start scoring, once they start going downhill like that, once they start running downhill, very, very hard to stop. That's like the game that I was at Camp Randall. It was actually a fairly tight game like that, like where it was like kind of inside the number. And then all of a sudden it's like, you know, before you know it, it's a 35-point game. And, you know, it's just you see that a lot in these Wisconsin games, early in the season especially, you know, because I would never go to a late season game at Camp Randall. No way. You know, I'd never want to see snow again in my life. But
why?
I was kicking myself for not doing 3 premium college footballs yesterday, but you know, that's easy to say that after the fact. So.
Yeah, I have a guy, you know, I have a few people that are, you know, longer term premium members, and you know, they'll email me when I'm good, bad, sideways, whatever. It's like, and I always say, please don't email me. They email me anyway, you know. And it's like, so I was cold, and we came out of the cold streak, and then, you know, we knew we had Wisconsin in, and then ULL, he sends me the email right when UAB scores that touchdown, right? And it's like right before the kickoff, you know, sends the email. I'm like, we're not out of this thing yet, you know. It's like bang, touchdown.
It was a ball sweater game, but it covered.
Yeah, but that's the way. The longer the season is, the more into the season you go, more of the games go that way. The books are dialed in. There's nothing you can do about it. If you want to bet college football or NFL football, or you know, that is what it is, man. That half a point, that getting the right line. I mean, Brian, I don't know. You put your picks in a little early, so you get better numbers than the rest of us. But you know,
I have a system, but
yeah, the system is you get a better number than the public can get. You know, it's
because normally the games that I take don't move in that direction. But
I don't agree with it.
It happens.
I don't know. If anyone ever has a problem with a line that they get on one of our picks that they purchase, all you have to do is shoot me an email, mitch@pickdogs.com, and we will make it right.
That's why
because lines move. They do move, and they do move, you know, drastically. You know, so like a 3-point line move, getting plus money at basically, you know, on one team, and then, you know, all you could get when you bought the pick was you had to lay 3 points, is a significant difference in my book.
I think when I bet that game it was plus 1.5, and I think which was days ago.
But the bulk of the people that bought it got it at -3.
I mean, the real line,
and that's all I care about. You know, and
cover's a cover.
And I got news for you. My opinion is the only one that counts.
Yep.
When it comes to those things, a lot of things I take other people's opinion into consideration, but when it comes to the customers and people that have made the purchases and what's fair, I'm the judge and jury, man. I am, and I don't care. That's what I signed up for. I guess we have an incorrect grade on a pick out there. All right. People emailing me. But anyways, Brian, what do you got for sale today? I know you got a 5-pack.
Well, I kind of broke from precedence. I actually have 7 plays now, which I almost never do, but I could not resist. So I got the 5-pack out there. So
play against the last 2 picks is basically the way this works. for those of you that have never worked for a handicapping site or have ever sold picks before, fade the 2 bonus picks. Okay, big,
and then
large,
the last 2
large
are the late games, 7 and then 10 something. So really, you want to pick up that 5-pack for $50 right now. Number 1 college football handicapper, 61% of the year. Last year I was number 1. I'm going to keep on going. I'm not going to say 7-0 today, but I love the card, really do. I think Mitch is right. It's the best card so far this year as far as betting. So I'm ready to have a big day.
Done touching yourself?
I don't know. If I go 7-0 today, I'm going to show up tomorrow. I don't know. I think I'm going to wear this belt the whole show. I'm just going to wear it.
I can tell you right now Those two picks that I'll
7-0.
find out what those two picks are that you put in, and trust me, I'm gonna be fading the crap out of them. If I'm already not on the other side, I will. I don't know. Like, it's weird because I really did pare down my picks today, from what I like. So it's like I don't know where I am with you guys, but I do know that.
How many originally did you have written down? I had 24 written down that I pared down.
Oh, I don't. How many did I have originally? 15.
Yep. So I started out with a huge.
Well, I mean, I looked at every game, and I had 15 when I began, and I could have probably had a little more. But I had 15, and then I pared it down from there. How about you, Chris? Are you number one also?
Oh no, I got something for everybody today. I got a UFC 3-pack, goes off at noon, and my lunch rush 5-pack for the 12 games, midday meal ticket for the midday, and Saturday night special for the evening games. You can get all of it, college football, at part of the Saturday stack for $49.95, or for the same price as the stack guarantee, you can get a 3-day pass. I'll get you all my premiums today, including the UFC, as well as everything for the rest of the week and up through Monday Night Football over at Pick Dogs Premium. I'm loving the card today as well.
So, yesterday on the drive-thru, Joe D'Amico said it took Lovie Smith 90 minutes to watch 60 minutes, an hour and a half to watch 60 minutes. What'd you think of that comment? You think it was a little harsh, considering they were a bowl team last year? I mean, I had Wisconsin last night, sure enough. But I thought that when Joe said that, it was like, the guy was the defensive coordinator for the greatest show on turf, which, I mean, basically was an aerial attack on his defense every single week. He got the Bears to the Super Bowl with Rex Grossman as his quarterback, okay, and Orton, okay? He got them to the Super Bowl with that crap, okay? And he got Illinois to a bowl game last year. I don't know, man. I thought it was a little harsh. I admitted that I liked Wisconsin. I mean, I gave it out as a premium pick, but I don't know. I thought it was a little harsh on Lovie.
We're all entitled to our opinions, so I mean, like I said, I like him a little bit. Yesterday it didn't go his way, but I still think I give him a little bit of the benefit of the doubt after what he did last season. But I think it's going to be a long year still for the Illini.
I think he could go to the Jets, maybe turn the Jets around, Lovie Smith. That's the kind of guy they need. But.
I think the Jets really need like a Lincoln Riley or the Jets need to go for like a Lincoln Riley, a Matt Campbell is a guy who I would consider like for a head coaching job in the NFL. I would go for maybe I don't know. I think Drinkowitz is a little early, but I think that he's a guy that's like a future, NFL guy. And Dabo Swinney, is got to be out there. He's got to be out there,
I don't know why he'd leave Clemson though. It's like a sweetheart job.
Because he's got an ego the size of Kansas, man. Have you ever heard him speak? I mean, it's like, my God.
Yeah, I've heard some guys with big egos talk before, but
it didn't happen to be the number one college football handicapper, was it?
I've heard it before.
Yeah.
If you're good, you're good. You got to let everybody know you're good. I think he's good, but I don't see him ever leaving Clemson. I don't know. That's like a dream job. Top school, you have all those nice ladies on camp. I don't know.
He's married. Sure, man.
That doesn't stop you from looking.
Wow. I'm happily married, man. How about you, Rod? What do you got? Steak Saturday?
I know, because Steak Friday is so good, right? Back to back. Steak Friday sweeps. We're going to follow it up with hopefully another college football winning Saturday like we did last week. I've got 6 college football plays spread out through the day. You got 3 in the morning, a couple in the afternoon, 1 at night, and the baseball game. And I put it all together in one package. Rod's Super Saturday. You can get it all for $39.99 over at the website. Make sure to grab it. Have a massive day coming.
Okay. I have an early 3-pack, an afternoon 3-pack, and then a late 3-pack, and I also combine those all into a 9-pack. I don't remember how much it is, but it's way reasonable. Anyways, let's get to the card. We've got Syracuse and Clemson, 46.5 points. Brian, what do you think?
Normally, I don't like to lay a ton of points here, but looking at the way the money's moving and the line's moving, I think you got to go with Clemson if you're going to bet this game. I see like a Georgia Tech type beat down, 72-7. Take Clemson.
46.5, no problem. Clemson wins this one by 50.
Rod?
Yeah, I agree. Give me Clemson here. Looks like another, just like Georgia Tech, beat down.
Yeah, it looks like I got one of the games here that I graded incorrectly. That sucks. So I'm fixing that while I'm talking to you guys. Let's see. Actually, only for a couple of people. That's weird.
Yeah, you gave Al Ninos a loss he shouldn't have had. But.
All right. Well, I didn't hear from him on that, so I would have corrected it before. But I will now. Any idea what game it was?
Yeah, I think it's South Florida. I think he had Tulsa. I think he gave him a loss, I believe, but off the top of my head.
All right. I'll take a look at it. That's the game that it appears that I had the problem with. That there was a problem with the grading. Tulsa. Under. Tulsa win. No, I don't see any Tulsas graded as losses. Tulsa. Oh, yep. There it is.
Yeah, he does have one.
Yeah.
Hey, there you go. I thought I was going crazy there for a minute.
All right. I'll fix it.
I check people.
Anyways,
Sure
we got Michigan State and Rutgers. Brian, what do you think?
Well, I like this. I got in on this game when it was around 13 for Rutgers. I think they're going to surprise some people. I mean, they're not a good team, but as far as covering this game against Michigan State, I think they have a good first game and maybe lose this one by a touchdown. I love the points here. I think it's down to 10. Take the plus 10 in Rutgers.
Chris?
Yeah, I liked it a lot better at 13.5. I'm not so keen on it at 10. Even with the total at 44.5, I'm still going to side with the under. I think it's a lower scoring game.
Rod?
This is the one I gave on the drive-through, and I'm still sticking with the under. Both these teams, it'll be some team score in the teens, 17-10. I'm definitely not a high-scoring game. Give me the under.
I like Rutgers in this one all day. I had them as a premium pick, and I took it off the list. They just barely missed it. It's just the reason why it wasn't a premium pick, there are just a few other games that I just liked better, and I just didn't want to have too many. And when it came to the pecking order, they got picked. So that's the only reason why Rutgers wasn't a premium pick for me. But I had it as a premium pick. I love them. I think they have a chance to win this game outright. Georgia Southern against Coastal Carolina. Coastal down to -4 in this one. I really like Georgia Southern in this one. I said it on the video as well. I just think that when you come off of a very public win, especially in an underdog role, you tend to get overrated by the public. And that's what's happening with Coastal. I love Coastal. I think they could win this game, but I think this is a field goal game. Georgia Southern's a tough customer, and they could easily win this game too. They are a tough team. I mean, they benched their whole team and still won a game. You know, I mean, they did. They benched 35 players and still won. That's how good they are. Coastal, I love the teal turf, though. Brian?
It's 2 for 2 we agree on. I really like Georgia Southern here, and the big bettors agree with me and Mitch. I think Coastal Carolina in for a bit of a letdown. It's a field goal game. I'll take the +4.5 here.
Yeah, this is one I was looking at all week too, and the more I look at it, it feels like maybe even less than a field goal. I think this could be like a 30-28 type of game. So I'll take Georgia Southern in the points as well.
Yeah, I agree. Easily field goal game or less. Got to take Georgia Southern here in the points.
Got Louisville against Florida State. Originally, when I saw this game, I really liked Florida State, but I never liked it enough to be a premium pick because we haven't seen anything consistently from the Noles so far this season. Saw a pretty good effort at South Bend, but then we also saw that same Notre Dame team struggle against this same Louisville defense, which is a sieve. Florida State at home against North Carolina. I wasn't all that surprised. I think we all had Florida State for that game. But I was a little surprised about the number that they put up on them. But I don't know what Florida State shows up here. I certainly don't have it. I mean, it's like if there was 6 games on the card today or 5 games and they were staggered out throughout the day, if this was like Monday Night Football or something, obviously I would have to make a choice and I would probably take Florida State. But it's not. It's a day where I've got 100 games to choose from, and this would not be one of them. It's just I don't see the consistency from Florida State here, and there's no way I could go on a team that I don't bet teams that don't tackle. And Louisville's one of those teams. Brian?
Boy, we're seeing things eye to eye. I had Louisville written down early, but I'm not in love with them. Florida State coming off a good performance, but I don't know if they can repeat that. If I had to bet the game, I would lay the points at Louisville, but I'm not wild about it.
Yeah, I'm not crazy about this game either, but I'll side with the over. I think both teams score into the 30s. It's a bad defensive game.
Right.
Yeah, definitely not on my bet list either. But if I had to, I would take Florida State and the points.
Memphis up against Temple. Temple has not looked great so far this season, that's for sure. Memphis coming off of the big win against UCF, but they looked vulnerable as well this year. What are you thinking, Brian? 13.5 with this one's kind of like this is one of those ones where it's mild action on Memphis and mild line movement on Memphis. So it's kind of it's not
the big money guys.
Yeah,
back in Memphis a little bit here.
I think the big money guys are not on this game. Is what I think. To me, what I see is the big money's not even on this game.
Yeah, I'm not. I don't think Dave Koken's on this one, but I think Memphis has turned the corner. I don't see a letdown here. I see another beat down. I think Temple's going to take it in the tailpipe. Lose by 21 here. Take Memphis.
Koken doesn't care about that anymore, about that stuff, because he already knows that you can't follow the sharps because they're already in and out. They're already gone because they're only betting a number. Anyways, Chris, what do you think here? Memphis and Temple, you going to Koken out on us and talk about a number or no?
No, I do think there's a bit of a letdown here for Memphis. Temple usually gets up for this game against the Tigers, so I think we see a better Owls offensive effort, so I'm going to take the points with Temple in this one.
All right, and our final Koken reference of the show, Rod. You look a little like Koken today. What do you got? What we got to do is prop you up and have like a ventriloquist behind you.
The moving lips on the screen.
It's like
if the Sharks did bet this number, they should have waited. They could have got a better number. Well, I guess if you would want that, but I agree with Chris here. I think this game's closer than the points there. I think this is a touchdown win by Memphis, not by almost 2 touchdowns. Give me Temple in the points here.
So in a game that was all over the map, UNC against NC State. I had NC State on my list. I did not give them out as a premium pick. I really like them a lot because you saw massive line movement by the Sharps early on this game. All right, you saw early line movement on this one, pushing the line from 14.5 up to 17, which is a crazy number for this game, right? Crazy number for this game to begin with. But then the big money came in and pushed it the other direction, meaning that UNC was overbet. Clearly overbet. there was too many big bets on UNC. It got pushed the other way. Public money is not going to push the number back down to 2 points. It just doesn't work that way. It means you have bad sharp money out there and people saying, maybe we made a mistake on this one, trying to get their way out and maybe find a middle as opposed to thinking they have such a sure thing and a hedge and a middle. And that's exactly what happened in this game. I like NC State still. Not enough to make it a premium pick, but I certainly like them. I think they have a chance to win outright as well.
I've been pushing NC all week. They're not a premium pick, but I think it breaks down like Illinois did last night. I think you see a North Carolina just throttling of NC State. They're going to run all over them. Take North Carolina.
Chris?
Yeah, I've gone back and forth on this game as well. I think back down to 15. I'm going to lean NC State as well. I'm not betting this one, though.
Yeah, I'm not betting this game either, but if I had to put $50 on something, I would take UNC here on the points.
UNC? Laying the points?
UNC.
Laying the points. Not and
Laying
the points. Laying the points. Laying the 2 touchdowns plus against their rival. Okay, we got Ohio State against Nebraska. Ohio State just loaded this year. I think, definitely a playoff team, possibly a national championship team here. Playing at home against the Nebraska team, same quarterback as last year, which is bad. And so it's not my camera, it's the software. Anyways, I think Ohio State by 100. Brian?
I don't know. I'm not going to touch this game with a 10-foot pole. I just I think Clemson's a much better bet if you're going to bet a big time public team.
Why?
This game, I just think Clemson's shown how dominant they were last week, kicking the crap out of Georgia Tech. They're not I can see Ohio State pulling some guys at halftime if they're up nice and Nebraska getting a backdoor cover. I just stay away from this game. But I have to pick it, so I'm going to take the points at Nebraska. Take the 27, 26 and a half, whatever it's at.
I'll bet you every hat you own. How about you, Chris? How about you, Chris?
I think Ohio State was one of those teams that wanted to skip the delay and skip the postponement. I think they're ready to get out there. I think they're ready to kick some ass. So I'm going to lay the points with Ohio State by 35 at least.
What do you think with Sermon taking over for Dobbins here at running back? They went outside of the family. Normally you have to you wait your turn at places like Ohio State, and they just went outside. They had a shot at a home run hitter, and this guy Sermon is a little different type of back than Dobbins. This is a guy that, man, if Justin Fields creates a little bit of time and he needs that dump off pass, it's a touch. He's Kamara, right? It's Kamara versus more of a bruiser, right? So you have another home run hitter plus the top wide receivers all back for Ohio State as well. What do you think about that? Having it's a different. Dobbins could break off runs, but not like this guy.
Yeah, can you imagine like if they threw in like a couple just like option like pitch plays where you have Justin Fields running around the outside, he either holds it or he dishes it to Trey Sermon. That's scary on the outside.
This one could get ugly in a hurry. Rod?
Oh, it is going to get ugly in a hurry. Sermon and Teague are going to pound Nebraska. They're going to run them into the dirt. Take Ohio State. This blowout. Ohio State comes out with a statement. I'm going to be lucky if they score 3 points or 7 points. Ohio State by big.
Ole Miss is taking on Auburn in some SEC action. Ole Miss, trying to get the comments. I totally spaced out on the comments today. Ole Miss hasn't looked great, but they haven't been horrible. Just the one win so far. That was on that missed extra point. Meanwhile, you got Auburn at 2-2. Boy, the expectations were a little higher, but I guess the losses on the defensive line were a lot bigger than they expected. that had a lot bigger input, and Bo Nix doesn't look too good.
For me, it's Ole Miss or nothing. This line opened up at 5. It's down at 3.5 in some spots. I like Ole Miss at home probably to get the outright win. Auburn's just not as good as they're just not as good a team as they've been in the past. I'm going to go with Ole Miss here.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the under 72. I think the quarterback issues are legitimate here, and even with how bad Ole Miss has been defensively and how well they light up the scoreboard, I think this one just stays well under the number.
How about you, Rod?
Yeah, I got to agree with Chris now. The Sharps have bet this number way up for the over. It's too far now. Give me under 73. I liked the over early when it was 65 when it opened. Not now. That's too far. I think it bangs on, finishes at 72. 38, 35, somewhere in there. Give me the under.
Oklahoma and TCU. TCU is not on my premium list of games, but they were probably, like when Brian said he had this long list, and I said, well, I started there. TCU is one that was originally knocked off the list. So like I liked it, but it never made the list. But it was kind of like it had list potential on it. I like him here getting a touchdown against Oklahoma. Once again, a home dog that I think has a chance to win outright. I think a lot of the dogs have a chance to win outright today. I do.
I think Oklahoma turned the corner with that win against Texas here. And even though they're not going to be playing for a national title, I think they're going to take out some of their season's frustrations on TCU. It's up to 7 in some spots. I'll go with Oklahoma here, lay the points.
So what part of the game did you watch that you saw that Oklahoma turned the corner? Because I saw the Civ defense that we've seen for the last 10 years.
I mean, it's a step-up win for them.
Yeah. What part of the 45 points they gave up did they look like they turned the corner?
Well, they gave up.
Which one of those? Which one of those six touchdowns and a field goal made them look like defensively they had turned any kind of corner? Chris, I just don't even know what you're looking at sometimes. It's like I don't even understand it. Stop picking on Brian.
Oklahoma wins by 14.
No chance.
Yeah, I don't know. Spencer Rattler for Oklahoma still.
He stinks, man. He stinks.
He's not been good. I think he's going to be the reason that Oklahoma finishes at 500 this season.
He makes me become a believer in Jalen Hurts.
Yeah,
he stinks, man.
Yeah. It's going to be a long 4 years if Oklahoma has to deal with that all the whole way. But I like Max Duggan. I like TCU. I like Gary Patterson. And I was looking at TCU money line as well. I'd probably take TCU in the points, but definitely I think the Horned Frogs are one of my favorite potential money line dogs today.
Rod?
Yeah, I agree. TCU has definitely got a chance win this outright, but I like the over more. Give me the over. I think we're definitely going to see some points here. I'm going to shoot out back and forth.
Takes us to an interesting one here. Kansas State and Kansas. I mean, on paper, this looks like a blowout, right? I mean, this looks like every kind of blowout that we've seen. But you have a rivalry, but you have a Kansas State team that always seems to lay eggs, man, and the easy ones, right? It's the Oklahomas and Texases where they play big, and it's the Kansases and the Division III schools and Arkansas States of the world. That's South Alabama, right? Is that who they lost to, Chris? South Alabama? Something like that, right?
Arkansas State.
Yeah. Yeah. That's who they lost to. So what would App State do to them? They beat them and they beat them. Right? I love that they beat them people.
It's the triangle theory.
You ever go to a bar and you hear like two people that are talking, you don't even know them, and they're having the they beat them discussion, and you just walk over and it's like, in 10 years ago or something. Yeah, so Appalachian State's gonna knock off USC with Reggie Bush, right? Is using this scenario. It's like it doesn't really work that way, It's like, but anyways, Kansas State. I'm sure Brian has an opinion on this one.
The Kansas State might be the biggest public play this week. I mean, is anybody betting Kansas? I mean, the sampling I'm seeing is just outrageously high on K-State.
Right, outrageous.
Kansas's offense, I watched the whole second half of that game, and they're absolutely they're terrible on offense.
Yeah,
but I think they get a –
Go ahead.
I think they get a backdoor cover here. I would never take K-State under any circumstances. Here's my money. But if I had to bet the game, I'd go Kansas. I just think I think they stick it to the public in the tailpipe. I think they get the cover again like they did last week on the kick return. So.
This was a game that like could have made the sheet type game, you know, and it just never made it, you know, for me because it was just like it's too easy, you know. Kansas State they're never gonna make it that easy. The Bucks never, ever.
They got West Virginia next week, K-State.
That doesn't matter.
Well, it might be a big game for Kansas. I don't think Kansas State.
You think that they're going to look past the Kansas State game at West Virginia? I mean, this is a team that was added to the conference like 3 years ago. You know, this is not like, you know, it's not like, oh man, the West Virginia game. You know, it's like West Virginia was the throw-in team to the Big 12 a few years ago. It's not like they're not like a traditional Big 12 team or anything. They were throw-in. They were in the Big East.
These are the kind of games that I've made lots of money over the years on, fading K-State type of plays.
Of course,
so.
No, of course, and that's why we stay away from this game. How about you, Chris?
No, I'm all over Kansas State here. I think they put the boots to the Jayhawks here.
I could see that happening too. I could see it.
Man, this is the best start that Kansas State's had in a long time, and I think they kind of want to build on that. So I'm taking Kansas State. I think it's like a 38-10. Even a 31-10 win.
It could be 48-0 at halftime. I mean, this has that type of potential.
Yeah.
You know, but it could also, you know, we saw Kansas with the backdoor last week. You know.
Yeah. That's true.
Which makes them very good in garbage time, which is dangerous with big numbers.
Yeah.
Rod?
I'll take the over 46.5. That line dropped like crazy, and everybody's on the under. Give me the over. Over 46.5. You can get enough points. K-State might score that on their own.
Got UTEP and Charlotte quickly.
I like the Charlotte 49ers here. I mean, I know it's gone from 14 to 17 here, but I think they're a good under-the-radar team. I think they beat UTEP by 21 tonight.
I'm going to take the under. This one just reeks of a low-scoring slop fest.
I like slop fest.
UTEP for me. Rod?
Yeah. I mean, that's too many points.
Yep. Too many. UTEP's at the beginning of the season, I thought they were the worst team, but they're actually not. They beat ULM.
Their defense isn't that bad.
They're not bad.
They've been riding their defense the last few games pretty good. So
if you can run the football, you can run the football, you can be effective. Liberty against Southern Miss. You freeze his team quietly 5-0. They win this one, they're bowl eligible.
That's my team, good old Liberty. But I can't lay the points. I like them. I think they cover. But for me, I'm going to go with the over here. I think Southern Miss gets enough points to get that number over.
I actually had 16 picks on this sheet, counting the numbers, because the next set of games, I actually had another one that I had to pare down from. Chris?
Yeah, I like Liberty as well. I'm going to lay the points with the Flames. I think they easily win this one by 2 touchdowns.
If anyone knows about Flames, it's Chris and Rod.
For me, I've been riding Liberty all year. It just seems like they win by 10. Give me Southern Miss plus the points here. I think Liberty wins by 10.
It's like Rod gave us the House Hunters expression right there. They got to decide between three. I just don't know which house.
That's how I am with premium picks. I got to decide amongst these plays. It looks so good.
It's like, he's last in the rotation. He's got plenty of time to think about it. Imagine if he was in Bitler's seat. Got UCF against Tulane. The Knights laying 21 points. If you're watching this show, be sure to smash the like button, by the way, and subscribe to our channel. 23,100 people have done so at Pick Dogs, and I think 11,500 at Sports Shop. That makes us 34,600. Quick math. Be part of it.
This UCF game, it's one of my premium picks, but I'm going to give it out for free right now. Absolutely love UCF to put a pounding on Tulane. I know they laid an egg last week against Memphis. They've lost 2 in a row, but this team's better than 2-2. Tulane's defense, I don't think they can stop anybody. I look for UCF to put that 70 up on their own.
Chris?
Yeah, UCF is better than 2-2, but their defense is still giving up 33 points a game, and as bad as Tulane's been, they can still score on their own as well. I think we see something like the Houston game for Tulane, where it finishes like 49-31. So I'm going to take Tulane in the points.
Yeah, I think so too. I think that's way too many points. You need Tulane plus the points, and UCF wins by like 2 touchdowns.
I'll take UCF, man. I can't stand Tulane. I'm disgusted by them. I'll take Marshall against FAU. I like the FAU plus the 17 points. I don't know. I think we have a coach. I think that he's gotten a really bad rap. I think people have looked past him. We'll go around the rotation. I'll come back. We'll come back to me. Brian, Marshall, and FAU.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with you. I'm going to take it's just too many points here to get with Florida Atlantic. I think they're not as bad as you think. And
this guy can coach, man. This guy can coach, okay? They don't give you the Oregon job and the Florida State job if you can't coach. It is that simple. He had 1 year at each of those programs, right? He never got his players in, right? He's playing with somebody else's players. He never got his guys in or his system in at those programs. But everywhere he has gotten his program in, these teams have won big winners. And he has, that South Florida team, remember how many points they used to score when he was the coach? About 1,000 a game.
I think Florida Atlantic loses by 2 touchdowns, but it wouldn't shock me if they upset Marshall.
Yeah, not at all. Such a great spot to recruit from. It's Boca.
I'm going to take the under here. I think this one, lower scoring game. I think FAU keeps Marshall within reach, and this one is just defensive battle.
Thought you were going to tell us how you got screwed out of a shuffleboard tournament in Boca one time.
You weren't supposed to hear about that. They discarded the police report.
It's because of Ruffalo why they have instant replay. Shuffleboard.
The coach's challenge.
Rod?
For me, I'm going to take the herd. I'm going to take Marshall. I think their defense is too good, and they shut down Florida Atlantic. It's being only their second game. They're still going to have a little bit of rust. Marshall's been rolling. I'll take Marshall. Give me Marshall.
I like Florida Atlantic. Notre Dame Pitt. Brian?
This is a tough one. I'm going to go with Notre Dame here on the road. God, I don't know why lately I've been taking Notre Dame with my free pick, but I don't know. Pitt. I don't think Pitt's good enough to keep this one close. I think it might be close at halftime, but by the time the final score, you see the Irish winning it by 2 touchdowns. They need to impress, stay in that top 4.
Yeah, I'm a little bit weary of Notre Dame, their first road game of the year, but I'll take the Irish as well. I'll lay the points. I see this being a 13 or 14-point game as well.
Rod?
I'm still going to stay with Pitt. I think they keep this close. Notre Dame wins by a touchdown.
Notre Dame hasn't been on the road all season. They've had major struggles in the red zone this year. Tennessee against Alabama, 71% on the Tide here. On the road in the cigar game. Brian? Tennessee, Alabama. Seemed like you're in a different. Seemed like you got.
I just wrote down FAU money line and another game's money line because you talked me into a little bit on FAU money line.
I don't understand why this guy gets such a bad rap. I don't understand it because he had a bad year at Florida State with like the scraps of scraps that Jimbo Fisher left him. Is that what's going on here? You know, because he had one bad year at Oregon where he was left. You know, it wasn't even horrible, but look what he was left. You know, he took over for a coach that was fired, you know, at Oregon, and Jimbo Fisher left the cupboard bare at Florida State. I mean, look at his quarterbacks. This guy, the guy is there. You know, Blackman is still there, right? He's still there. He doesn't play. It's like this is what he was given. It's like Lane left him a stretch limousine there at Florida Atlantic. They're gonna do some damage, man. Florida Atlantic always gets this bad rap, you know. They always get this bad rap, but at the end of the season, they always are right there. They get the bad rap. Remember, they played Oklahoma like in their opener. They played like Oklahoma, Miami. It's like, oh man, this team stinks. And then they won like every game.
3 touchdowns.
Yeah, because what Lane Kiffin is great at, and I've said this a million times, you know, what Lane Kiffin is great at, and he's not the coach anymore, right? But what he's great at is figuring out who his best player is and getting that guy the ball in space and let him create. That's exactly what he does. He did it with Reggie Bush, you know. He did it at Alabama, you know, when he was the offensive coordinator there. And he did it at Florida Atlantic with Singletary. It's like he's like, "Oh man, this guy is an NFL running back that I got here, man. He's going to run over these clowns in our division." And he's exactly what he did. He just gave him the ball every single play. How hard is this? It's like the 73 Bills. Just give the ball to OJ. I mean, how hard is this? It's like
in the Tennessee-Alabama game, it's a square play, but I like the over. I think we see Alabama's defense regress back a little bit from how they performed against Georgia, and I think Tennessee puts enough points
one half of the Georgia game. One half of the Georgia game.
I see it going over.
Right, but it's one half of the Georgia game that they played well. They didn't play well in the Georgia game. They played well in one half of the Georgia game. The first half they played terrible.
They had a little help from the referees.
Yeah, they had some help. Chris, that's going to happen in Tuscaloosa. That's figured into the line.
I'm still salty about my Georgia loss.
Yeah, me too. Me too. That one left a mark, especially my halftime show. Well, I might as well kick myself a little bit.
I have a bad feeling about this game, but I'm still going to take Tennessee in the points. It just kind of feels like too many, but again, I'm not going near this game personally.
So, Rod?
Yeah, I'm not going near this game personally either, but if I had to, I would take Tennessee in the points. That Alabama defense, I think they'll let Tennessee score some points, and we're going to see a backdoor cover here.
Has backdoor cover written all over it.
It does, yeah.
The computer picks are still available at Spread Knowledge. It's $5 for 3 days. If you can't afford $5 for 3 days, I have one suggestion for you. Don't bet on anything. Not a nickel slot machine, not on a sports game, not on a lottery ticket. If you can't afford $5 for 3 days, do not bet. Do not pass go. Take my advice. Tune me out. Unsubscribe. Do whatever you want. I don't care. If you can't afford $5 over 3 days.
The best 2 things you can do is get Spread Knowledge and the consensus report. Real cheap. Tool belts. Stick them on your tool belt. You'll go. Consensus report. Spread Knowledge.
I was sure he was going with my yearly package there.
No,
I was sure he was going there.
Going with one of our yearly packages. It's the best way to go, but some people can't afford that.
But how could you not afford it? Okay, it's $1,200, right, for a year for my yearly package. That's $100 a month. That's $3 a day. I gave out 9 picks today. That's 30 cents a pick.
Yeah, I mean, that's the way to go. But as far as,
it's a no-brainer.
Consensus Report is much cheaper.
It's a no-brainer.
Yeah, that is a no-brainer.
It just doesn't even make any sense.
I mean, plus if you get the year pass with one of these guys here, one of us, I mean, each sport is usually like $500 for the season. So you get college football, NFL, NBA, college basketball, NHL. So, I mean,
for $3 a day, less than a cup of coffee.
It's crazy. But anyway, I was just trying to say it is a good thing to have extra, kind of like satellite radio or, I'm not going to say the Pornhub premium membership, but just something extra to have that doesn't cost too much that you'll enjoy.
Okay, Rod, who do you like in this one?
Just being honest.
And Tennessee plus the 22.
Yep, I'm in Tennessee also. This one it didn't make my list of games that didn't make the premium picks, but it was one of those ones that even though it wasn't even on the list for not making the premium picks, as I was putting the premium picks, I still considered putting this one in. I like Tennessee a lot here. I think they have a chance to beat them. I think it's more of a 6-point game if they lose. I'm telling you, there's so many big home dogs today. It's like
it wouldn't shock me if Tennessee knocked them off. I mean,
no, it wouldn't shock me at all. It's a rivalry SEC game with a major home dog. Home dogs in college football, double-digit home dogs in college football have been money this season, and there's been, I think, double-digit wins outright by double-digit dogs this season. It has been a dog fest this year. And I know the weeks that I went bad in college football are the weeks I went too chalky. But home dogs has always been the way to win money in sports. Always. I got, and I say this all the time. It's like no one ever comes up to me and says, "Man, that was a great call on Manny Pacquiao minus 400 against Ricky Hatton last night." Right? They say, "Wow, that Braves reverse run line at minus 3.5 and plus 850, plus 900, that was awesome." Right? That's how you make money betting sports, is picking up some of these underdogs, money line, and especially you're getting them at home.
I mean, Bama's also coming off of that big home win against Georgia. I mean, I know you don't care about that, but I care about that.
I'm more, because you know why? Because I grew up with college football, and I understand. It is my even though I might not be number one this week on the leaderboard or whatever, it is my game. And, the reason why I'm not on the leaderboards or whatever is because I feel I have obligations to my premium members. And I picked a lot of games earlier this season when they're on these short cards that I wouldn't normally have given picks on. And I ended up on the wrong side of a lot of them. And that happens. And it happens to me on those Thursday night games and those Tuesday night games and Monday Night Football and stuff like that. And I know. And I take the abuse for it. I get called all the names and I get the emails about it, whatever. But most people know, the site started, it used to be called College Football Place. That was the name of the site. It was all college football. And there are people that, followed me back then and continue to follow me, because of my college football. So it's like, I'm not taking anything away from Brian's number one ranking in college football, but
and
that's
last year, number one. Oh, okay.
But that could go away in a week.
Yeah, it could. It could. I think NFL is going to be the sport that I start doing better in.
I was on the board for NFL, and then I just had one bad week, and I'm gone off the board. So it's that easy. It happens that fast.
Quick, yeah.
But it's like with college football, as the season goes on and in the big games and the bowl games, I'll go up against anybody.
Me and you'll have to have a friendly.
Absolutely. Absolutely. But anyways, Navy against Houston. We got another double-digit home dog here. 15 points for the middies. This was not on any of my list, but it doesn't mean that I don't like the game. I like Navy here plus the points. Brian, how about you?
Yeah, if you could have got Houston at minus 13.5, minus 13 around where it opened at, I'd take Houston. But at this level, I think Navy's the way to go here if you with over 2 touchdowns. I think Navy does enough to keep it close.
It's like, I'm not saying that every home dog is good value, but double-digit home dogs, traditionally, great value in college football.
The Tennessee's not a bad team. I think they've had a few rough games this year, but
look at South Florida last night. It's a double-digit home dog.
Who expected Florida Gators? Who beat Florida? That was Ole Miss or Mississippi State went into
Texas
Florida.
A&M.
Texas A&M, that's right. I see
at Texas A&M. 7-point home dog. They were not a double-digit home dog. And it went to 5. Of course, Brian probably got it out at 9 or something, But
I remember who had Florida in that one, but it's okay.
I remember who had Georgia Tech last week against Clemson. Now you're thinking
about Georgia Tech all right.
Yeah, 73 points. I think Clemson just scored again.
That wasn't I didn't have that as a preview. No.
Chris, in all seriousness, Navy Houston.
And the last Houston game I watched, I think they had like 19 or 20 penalties, and that's not going to win you many games against anybody. I think they got lucky in that last one. I think Navy's a more disciplined team here, and they're going to chew up a lot of clock. So I think Navy in the points is the way to go here.
Rod?
Yeah, it's the one I gave on the drive-through, and I still like it. I still like Navy in the points here. I'm even going to put a little on Navy to win this outright and upset Houston. Give me Navy money line too.
I really enjoyed the Florida high school football talk the other day. I know that a lot of people didn't get into it, but a lot of people from the area left a lot of comments after the show about naming like St. Thomas, Aquinas, and like all these other schools and stuff. Because if you're from the area, if you're from the 305, then you understand it that college football is the number 1 sport, high school football is the number 2 sport, pro football is the number 3 sport, and then there's just everything else. And that's just the way that it works, And it's always been like that, and it will always be like that. High school football is huge, and that's why so many great players, because they practice all year round. While all these other schools, they only practice here and there. The Florida schools practice all year round. They play all year round. Anyways, Wake Forest and Virginia Tech, and Brian, another double-digit home dog. Everyone knows where I am. It's like this one was not on my list. I just can't even believe it didn't even make the list. But I mean, this one looks almost too easy. 3-0 at home against the number for Wake Forest as well. It's
Yeah, Wake Forest. Virginia Tech hasn't proven anything to me, and they're to lay this kind of points.
It took them last week laying this kind of number, so they must have proved something.
I like the way the number. See, if a number looks bad, it looks good to me. Like if you see a team laying way more than they should, to me, that tells me I want to be on them. But in this game, I like Wake Forest at home. I would even consider the money line here. Really like it. It's one of the best free picks. Take Wake Forest.
Yeah, me too.
Points here.
I like them too. I'm going to put them in my parlay at the end of the show. Chris?
It's already in there.
I like the under here. I think into 68.5, I think is too high. So I like the under, but I also like Wake Forest.
Rod?
I don't see these defenses stepping up. I like Wake Forest in the over. I think they're just back and forth. Both these teams are scoring 40 points a game. No defense is showing up here. Give me Wake Forest in the over.
Yeah, Wake Forest for me. So Indiana, Penn State. This is one that was on my list, and I did not give it out as a premium. For me, it's a solid. Anytime you have a chance to lay less than a touchdown with a quality football team against Tom Allen, you got to take it. And I don't care what kind of line movement there is, or what kind of public or square. I don't care about any of that stuff. I've seen Tom Allen coach, okay, and this guy sucks. He sucks. He will coach you right out of your money if you back Indiana in a game like this. They have a great quarterback this year, supposedly. Let's see what we got. Brian, I know who you're on.
I'm going to take the over here. I know it's going up about 5 points or so, but I think it should still go over the total. I see Indiana being able to score on Penn State's defense. Penn State's definitely going to score in Indiana. So take the over, get yourself a nice little win.
Jimmy Carson, any questions, just email me, Mitch@sportschatplace.com. I know you had an issue with one of your picks or whatever. So just email me, Mitch@sportschatplace.com or Mitch@pickdogs.com. I'll gladly help you, man. It's like, I know that sometimes the site navigation, the other thing that you could do is join our Facebook group, and that people will more than help you in our Pick Dogs Facebook group. Anyways, I cut someone off. Sorry. It was just this guy. I knew he had problems. He had emailed me and gone in the intercom and everything. So it's like, because it gets confusing because people put out packages and they also put out the individual picks, and they end up buying the, here it is. I smiled as you commented on the Bahamian Jackson 5, Michael Thompson, his cousin Charles Thompson, Osborne Lockhart. That was the guy. Cecil Rose and our Caribbean brother, Cuban Julio Gonzalez, made up that dominant starting 5 of the Jackson 5 that I referred to yesterday. They were sick. Osborne Lockhart was on the Globetrotters. These guys were sick. He was the point guard on that team. And they were sick. Like, one of the best high school basketball teams I ever see.
No, I like Penn State laying the points here as well. I think they win this one by at least 10 points.
I'm gonna take Indiana here plus the points. Indiana's 7-3 ATS, their last 10 overall, and they're 4-1 ATS. Last 5 is a dog, and they're at home here. Give me Indiana plus the 6.5.
Anyways, man, like I said, Tom Allen's pathetic, man. You're gonna see timeout. If you put one dime on Indiana today, you're going to see timeout usage that makes you want to throw something at the TV. You're going to see a guy who, the bigger the game, the worse he coaches. He will coach you right out of your money. They never pull the upset. It's always this coaching blunder that costs you a cover. It's Penn State all day. Matter of fact, I'm going to put a couple more bucks on it right now. Anyways, we got Oklahoma State and Iowa State. A little bit of a line dropper. And Oklahoma State 3-0 heading into this one. Brian?
For me, I think you're going to see better defense from Oklahoma State. I know they're not known for their defense. Iowa State, I really like this team. Always a good under. I love to look at Iowa State every single week. I think they normally show some value. But for me, in this one, take the under. I think it easily cruises under the total.
The new female capper on the site, her name is Ann, and she'll be on. I'm going to do some live shows probably with just me and her to introduce her to everybody, or we're going to have her on just like a special guest capper segment, maybe during tomorrow's Sunday NFL show. Like kind of do like what I've done with Tony T and some of the other guys where we kind of cut away for a minute. She does a few picks, introduces her to everybody, and then, bring her back. We're going to try and mix her in a little bit and do it. She's not going to be like one of these hostess cappers, that you see on some of the other sites where they call them the expert handicappers, but you can't get their picks anywhere or anything like that. We didn't bring her in because she's a woman. We brought her in because she's really good at picking winners.
She sent me her 5-game parlay yesterday. She hit every single game except for the one her husband put in wrong. And
right, which the funny thing is, the one her husband put in wrong was the one that was her premium pick. She had Wisconsin as a premium pick. Her husband put in Illinois on the ticket. Other than that, she had a 5-team parlay. She sent me the ticket. Yeah, and it's yeah, you guys are gonna love her. I promise. Because you know why you're gonna love her? Because she's gonna put you on a ton of winners. Ton of winners.
We love people that win.
Yeah,
winners win.
Hey, if people send me emails all the time, I want to be a capper on your site, or and it's like they don't give me anything to work with. They give me nothing to work with. No record, no documented record. I'm really good at picking games, and I want to be a handicapper. It is not, I want to be on your site. Doesn't really give me enough to work off of. It's like you got to give me something to at least get the conversation started. And then you have the people that email you and say, and act like, I said no before I ever said anything. I'll say no to Indiana any day, though. Oklahoma State and Iowa State. Did we give your pick, Brian?
Yep, I took the over in this one.
Chris Ruffalo.
Oh, I'm sorry. I had it written down. I had the under. I have the under in this one in Oklahoma State and Iowa State. Oklahoma State plays improved defense. Iowa State always stout. I'll take the under.
Two good running backs in this one, man. You got two.
A lot of grinding of the clock.
I don't know. You got two guys that can break them. Chris, what do you think?
Yeah, I think that of the two, though, Iowa State's the one with a healthy starting quarterback. Oklahoma State also hasn't played in 3 weeks, and while that's a lot of rest, that could be some rust too. And I think Iowa State's clicking right now. I think Oklahoma State's a little bit, their sixth rankings a little bit high, so I'm gonna take Iowa State in the points. I think Iowa State could win this one outright as well.
For me, I'm going to take OK State. I think this is a close game all the way. I think Hubbard runs one off at the end there. OKC gets a late touchdown and a cover.
Got a massive coaching disparity in this game. I mean, one of the bigger coaching. Well, you got James Franklin and Tom Allen, and you got this one. It's like there's some ones where it's like a really good coach against a coach that's going. Speaking of which, Baylor and Texas. It's one of these weird spots where the line has kind of bounced around a little bit. It's gone high, it's gone low, it's gone all over the place. Big bets are always made on Texas. It's always going to look like sharp money is on Texas. It always looks that way, and it's because the size of the bets that are made. It's kind of one of those like USC, Texas. There's a few schools out there that it just always looks odd. The line always looks funny, but it doesn't. It usually has less meaning for those schools because it's just how they are. Yankees, right? Sometimes it just looks this way. There's not a lot that you can look at from that way. Brian, what do you think here?
Yeah, I mean, I can't touch Texas after choking out the last time they played. This is an in-state rival game. It's hard to turn down all the points of Baylor. I think they do enough to keep it within a touchdown.
So you think Oklahoma turned the corner, giving up 45, but Texas is 53, just unforgivable?
Yep, unforgivable.
Chris, I still love that turn the corner. It's like
turn
6 touchdowns and a field goal. They really turned a corner last week. It's like, what corner was that?
It was the corner of a circle.
Seriously, that's not.
I'm gonna take Baylor in the points as well. I think I'm done with Texas. Sam Ehlinger was meant to be a Texas quarterback, but the Longhorns were not meant to play Texas football, and I think Baylor could have a shot to win this one outright as well. So I'll take the Bears.
Road dog. Rod.
Yeah, give me Baylor here as the road dog. They might come out and start a little bit slow, but I think they just take over their will on this game and beat Texas. I like them outright too. Give me Baylor money line here.
I think the total is dipped here, quite a bit too, and I think that Baylor not quite the fireworks show that we've seen in the past. I think that's more of a physical game between the tackles and. We know what Texas generally does in games like that, and that's turn the ball over in bunches. Got Purdue against Iowa. Once again, we have we talked about this on the drive-through, where you kind of have these middle-range coaches in the Big Ten, the bottom guys that just never do anything, and then the top-tier guys. And here you kind of have a guy that's like top-tier, Ferentz, and you got Jeff Brom, who's a guy. Him and Herman are kind of. He's kind of like a guy that you bring in this big money guy, and but he hasn't really performed there. And Purdue also, their best player, their only guy, is out. I mean, they have one guy who's really good on the whole team, and he's out for this game. They're gonna get housed. I had this one on my list. It's not actually. It wasn't on my list. It was a fringe one, but I do know that Purdue has, their one guy. The one guy they have is not playing in this game, so they got nothing. They're gonna get whipped. Brian,
I think Iowa might be as square as Kansas State, but in this one, I agree with the public on the over/under. I'm going to go under. I think it's going to come nowhere near the 52.5. So
no, this is nowhere near the Kansas State. Here you have a key player, the key player, not just a key player. This is like betting the Chiefs, and Mahomes, Kelsey, and Hilaire are all out.
Well, the line would reflect that. I mean, there's no mystery.
Well,
right? I mean,
okay.
The books know who's out. They set the line, and it's already been into the spread, into the line. So
generally, they miss in college football. They miss. They miss big.
I think they knew this guy was going to be out for the whole. I mean, this line really hasn't moved much. It's been 3.5. That's what it's been at. So hasn't really made a difference.
Purdue's terrible. Chris.
Yeah, I was on Purdue early, but as the week went on, I'm starting to lean towards Iowa now. I think Spencer Petras is going to take over well for Nate Stanley, and I think Iowa's defense holds up here, so I'll lean towards Iowa.
And Rod.
Yeah, I lean Iowa as well. I think they win by making like 38-7. I like the under as well, too. Give me the under 52.
So I mocked this game earlier in the week, that I had to do a video on it on Pick Dogs. It's the Rice Middle Tennessee game. And turns out it made my list. It did not make my premiums, but it definitely made the list. Yeah, we've seen Middle Tennessee. They are that bad, right? I love Rice here. I bet this game, but I did not give it out as a premium. I bet on Rice, and I'm not ashamed to admit it. Brian?
We talked about this game earlier, how we liked Rice, and that was when it was at -2, 2.5. Now we're seeing 3.5, 4, 4.5. Anything 3.5 or above, I would go with Middle Tennessee. Keep it within a field goal.
I'm all over the Owls like white on Rice. Chris?
I see what you did there. I think Rice wins this one 21-14, so I'm going to lay the points with the Owls here. I think it's an ugly game, though.
If anyone knows ugly, it's Ruffalo. Rod.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I like the under here. Give me the under 49.5.
All right. I'm all over the Owls, man. All over the Owls.
Temple Owls?
No, Rice.
Oh.
Love Missouri against Kentucky, too. This one was on my list also. Did not make my premium picks. This one was probably the last man out. Love Missouri here.
I agree with Mitch 100%.
I liked them a little better at 6 than at 3.5, and that's why they didn't. That's why they didn't make it. Well, handicapping the game, capping the game, I liked them at 6. It was a gift, right? At 3.5, it's good. It's just not in gift range anymore. It is in it's a good probability, but it's not like it's not on a silver platter anymore because I can't reference him anymore because the shops are playing the number.
Yeah, and this one, I think Missouri wins this game outright, but as always, I love taking the points. I think just Missouri's a better team than Kentucky. I know that they've had some rough games, but they're at home here, getting points. Tough to go against Missouri. I think it's one of the better free picks, is taking the Tigers.
Yeah, I'm telling you, they just missed. This was the last man out for me. It's kind of my bubble team, when I'm doing my bracket. This is the last guys out. Chris?
I think this one goes over the number. I think Kentucky scores their fair share of points, and I think Eli Drinkwitz is going to coach up Missouri today. So I like the over in this spot.
He's a great coach, man. He's a great coach. Rod?
Yeah, I think you got to take Missouri here plus a 3.5. And when I see probably a closer game than that, give me Missouri plus a 3.5.
Got Troy up against Georgia State. Brian? Not the sexiest game on the card, but these are some of the times where we really can make some money.
These are the kind of games I like watching on a Friday or Wednesday or Thursday. So on a big card like that, it gets lost in the shuffle.
Yep.
I think there's some value here on the under. Open at 78.5. I see it at 68.5. I don't see this getting above 62, 63. So give me the under for 50.
Rod?
I'll take Troy here. I think they beat Georgia State.
I'll take Georgia State in this one. Got Georgia Tech against Boston College. The Yellow Jackets got their heinies whooped last week. Then you got...
I think we missed Chris. I think we missed Chris, didn't we? No?
Yeah, I like Georgia State as well.
Sorry, I'm doing 6 things at once here.
Mitch is skipping over guys. What are you doing?
That's all right.
Yeah,
that's all right. It's not my favorite game anyway. So
yeah, Mitch is handling customer service. He's hosting the show. He's doing emails.
You got to juggle too.
As a higher college student.
As much as this is the best time to do the show, it's also the worst time for me to do the show. It's like the very, very busy time as a, I like Georgia State. Georgia Tech against Boston College. Georgia Tech got slaughtered last week. Boston College got slaughtered last week. Brian, who bounces back?
I think Georgia Tech bounces back. I think that was a really humiliating loss last week to Clemson. And just like Missouri, liking that 3.5, I like the Georgia Tech here. But I think they might even win it outright and shock some people.
I think Boston College has been too good defensively. They just had a bad outing last time out. I'm gonna lay the points at Boston College in this one. I think it's a 4 to 7 point Eagles win.
Rod.
Yes, I know. I'm
today.
I'm taking Boston College. Give me Boston College. I had some notes somewhere. Boston College is like 7-0 after a loss, or 7-1 ATS after a loss. Give me Boston College here. I think they beat Georgia Tech by a touchdown or more.
Super Chat is still a T-shirt, $5 or more.
They should just send you a super chat because it's your birthday. No shirt involved.
Let's see. Wow, I'm way behind on the comments. Need someone to do the comments too. I like Boston College here. Georgia Tech stings. Texas Tech and West Virginia. Oh man, this is another one that I smell a rat. I didn't put a play in. It didn't make my list. It's one of those games. It's just an odd time to boot. But man, if there's a few games where something just smells a little bit funny, this one has a little bit of a stench coming to it.
So many good mid-afternoon games. So many.
But this one has a little bit of a stench.
This line has barely moved. West Virginia
barely moved, man. Barely moved.
Getting the bulk of the action. It's impossible for me not to back Texas Tech with like $100 here.
It's crazy,
I think they win it
right?
outright, but I'll take the points.
It's crazy, man. It's crazy. I do like West Virginia, though. I think their defense is awesome. I like the way they run their offense, but it just looks fishy to me. So I have to take the Red Raiders. In college football, the lines are out, Sunday, the week before. Normally, they move at least a little bit.
And I watched stuff like this all week long. So.
Yeah, we know you bore us to death. This crap. Yeah, just save it up for Saturday. So Chris and I sleep through the early kickoff, and I'm thinking about doing a 1:00 show today, just to watch games with you guys. Totally, Mitch.
Yeah, I would do that.
Yeah, maybe I'll eat some oatmeal, some popcorn. My wife had stone crab shipped in from Isla Mirada last night for dinner. It's awesome. We had key lime pie. It's fantastic. which was supposed to be my birthday dinner. So today we're kind of like, we don't know what to do.
Is that graham cracker crust?
Oh,
The key one?
damn right, it had a graham cracker crust.
I could go for one.
Oh man, it's delicious. It was from Marathon, Florida. Keys. Oh, so good. It was like this thing came with dry ice. You open it up, it's 4 pounds of colossal stone crab claws like this big, man. I wish I had the pictures. I wonder if she sent me any.
You should have posted them on Facebook.
Maybe she will. Well, I could ask her to post some.
I like looking at Joe's food. I could have used some of yours.
What do we got? So what do you got here, Chris?
I still, even though the line looks funny, I still like West Virginia against that. The defense against the Texas Tech offense just hasn't shown up this year, and the Red Raiders made a quarterback switch, so I think that's going to take some time to fix as well. So I like West Virginia here.
Mitch, did you ever apologize for your idiotic rant about Bubba Wallace noose, which the FBI found to be a fake? It wasn't fake. It was a noose, and I stand behind my comments.
That was a garage door pulley, wasn't it?
Yeah, sure. Shaped like a noose. None of the other garage door pulleys are shaped like that, Brian.
Like a noose, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
it was there for years, wasn't it?
Yeah, sure it was.
Somebody says that.
Sure it was.
That's true. I'm not there. I don't
It just
know.
so happened.
Yeah,
Yeah.
whatever.
It just so happens, that the rebel flags flying outside, the whole bullshit, right? We're not going back there, but I not only did I not apologize, I do not apologize, and I stand behind my comments. Speaking of standing behind my comments, I'm never betting ULM again. I don't care if they're playing South Alabama and getting 15 points. I didn't even handicap this game. I didn't even look at this game. I didn't look at the numbers. I saw ULM. I checked South Alabama. Brian?
I didn't really look into this too much, but the line tells me about South Alabama. It's just they're increasing the amount of points you get with Louisiana Monroe, and the people are betting them. I wouldn't get caught on that one. Give me South Alabama if I had to bet it.
Yeah, me too. South Alabama.
Me three. ULM is you lose money.
That's a good one. That's good.
This is a great comment by Tiffany. I don't comment on every comment, but this one is great because it says you're right, but you're not right all the time. I've won a lot of money in you guys. This is my favorite part of the comment. I've won a lot of money of you guys, even on Chris. Keep up the good work. Yes, even on Chris. That's the best. Thank you, Tiffany. Who did we take here? ULM, Chris?
Yeah.
We all went South Alabama.
We all went South Alabama. We're not going on
Consensus.
ULM and you lose money.
Yes.
No, thank you. South Alabama.
Last year I was on Utah State a bunch, and, betting on Boise in these late games is normally death, right? Because the world goes on Boise late. You have to get the line early. It was at 14.5 is where it opened. Utah State is always a big physical team, kind of like BYU, but they lost their quarterback, right? So Boise returns kind of everybody. Brian?
This game wasn't on my radar, but I'm gonna have to be a square here and take Boise State if I had to. I don't see Utah State even getting it close. I think it's a 24-point win for Boise.
Chris?
Yeah, I'm on Boise State as well. This one was almost on my list, but I pulled it off at the last minute.
Yeah, I like Boise State as well. I think they run over Utah today by more than 3 touchdowns.
Happy 73rd.
I thought you were turning 85 today, man.
Yes, I am. I am old and crusty.
Old and crappy. That's what you're called.
Yes. Old and crappy is what I've been called. And
you can't host a show because you're old and crappy and
yes,
nobody wants to see
I was told I couldn't do a show because I was too old and crappy to do it. And the person that hosts the show, they got 5 viewers. Congratulations on that wise decision. Anyways.
Still plenty of time to get in on all of our premium plays. It's not 12 o'clock yet, and I know these guys have plays all day long.
All day long.
Mitch, make sure you get in on it.
All day long. Got Wyoming and Nevada. This one will slide right past you.
Boy, I didn't even look at that game.
Yeah.
It slid right past.
This is the type of game that slides right past you. And it's like, damn, how'd I miss Wyoming? But you see a ton of action here in Wyoming in the line that hasn't budged.
Yep, I mean, the small bettors are back in Wyoming. The sharper guys are taking Nevada. I got to take Nevada at home plus the 3. I think they win outright here, looking at these numbers. I think it's another Texas Tech type story.
Oh,
so give me Nevada.
It wouldn't be my birthday if someone didn't tell me to shut the fuck up on my own show.
Just send that guy a shirt.
How do you sign up? Sign up for what?
Yeah, I'm gonna take Nevada as well. Wyoming's had too much turnover in their offenses, and Nevada.
I'll tell you. We're not going to find on any leaderboards is Jay, because he's just a troll, right? A pictureless person that gives out no opinion, just hides in the weeds and takes pot shots. That's what you call a troll. Anyway, sorry, Chris.
Oh, it's okay. I understand. I like Nevada here. Wyoming's had too much turnover on their offense, and the defense wasn't good. And I like Nevada the way they run the ball. So give me the Wolfpack.
I would say Florida high school football in this one any day of the week, and it's not even close. Rod?
I'm going to take Wyoming here. I think they cover 3? Yeah, give me Wyoming. They cover. They're 5-0 ATS. Their last 5 road games as a favorite. 10-1 ATS. Their last 11 as a favorite.
Does anyone think?
I like Wyoming here.
You think this bit is funny? This you're 73 years old bit, because he said it a few times here, and I don't know.
No, once is enough.
Was it funny? Was it funny the first time? I mean, it doesn't bother me. I would say that the thing is like I go to my high school reunions and I know a lot of people my age, and I will tell you, for my age, I think I'm okay. You know, it's like, I think I'm doing pretty damn good.
What about Texas high school football?
Texas high school football is good, and California high school football is good. Pennsylvania high school football is good. Ohio high school football is good, but it's not as good as Florida high school. Did you see last night they showed on one of the games, the Wisconsin game, they showed a graphic how many offensive linemen from each school were in the NFL, and Miami was like 4th on the list. Like underneath, like it was like Wisconsin, Miami, Alabama. It was like all the big boys, and Miami was still on the list. That's what I was saying. It's like they still have NFL talent there. So I don't know. I don't have time to even ban these clowns. Stop picking on Brian.
Send that guy a T-shirt.
Nevada's coach won't be playing or won't be coaching today. Father passed away.
So they'll be motivated to win for him then.
Who's not coaching?
Nevada's coach.
Oh.
His father passed away. He won't be coaching.
Well, that's our condolences.
Yep.
Of course. Still taking Wyoming. South Carolina, LSU. LSU fell off my list of premium picks. Brian?
How to find great content ideas.
For me here, I was liking LSU earlier in the week. I think we discussed this game, but as it gets closer to game time, I'm going to have to go with the Gamecocks today. I think it's a field goal game, getting 4.5. Give me South Carolina here. I think LSU's in the major down year.
Yeah, I'm on the Gamecocks as well. LSU starting a true freshman today. Miles Brennan's out, so LSU's been struggling to begin with, and I don't think that's going to help. So I'm on South Carolina here.
Yeah, I'll take the Gamecocks as well. LSU's look scary all year.
Love LSU in this one. It's addition by subtraction. Brennan's terrible at quarterback. I think we saw it last night in Wisconsin. Sometimes, you get the quarterback out there. He was the problem. LSU's loaded. I mean, this is a team that you look at recruiting rankings, they're always on top. This is a team that has so much talent on that roster. I'm going to guess we're going to see an upgrade at quarterback, and LSU's going to roll, and then Brennan will never hear from him again. And, what are they going to do at Wisconsin? They're going to take that kid out? No chance. You bench that kid, he's going to transfer. Did you see the offers that he had? He turned down Clemson, Ohio State, and Alabama. It was like, they threw him in there. And everyone's like, oh, Wisconsin's missing their starting quarterback. He completed, his first 17 passes? New school record. 4 touchdowns. It was like, and he was throwing darts. Like, you don't see Wisconsin quarterbacks throwing darts like that, to the tight end in the end zone. It was like, oh, my God. That was craziness. Love LSU here. Speaking of loving, but not making my premium plays, but was on the list and got bumped. Gophers against Michigan. I love betting against Michigan. It's one of my favorite things to do, but God, the public is kind of too many people on Minnesota. It makes me feel uncomfortable. I don't like public underdogs, in general. Even with Fleck, coaching them. So if I can get back to betting this game, depending on how my early games go, and I have some extra money lying around, and the game's on the TV anyway, and I'm just degenerate gambling betting it, which it happens, right? It happens. Not going to sit here and, deny it like some of these other guys. I only make this, you see, what is it, Wager Talk, where it's like, this robotic betting. It's like, what the hell? It's like what? It's like, what? Race 6 at Aqueduct? Give me a 478 try box. It's like, it's like, you don't even know who the horses are or the odds, All of a sudden you got it, it's like, that's, and it's like, I'm not saying that's where I make my big bets or anything, but why not? I mean, it's like, I know it's what I do for a living, but at the same time, I've made a pretty good living doing it, so I can afford to do those things, right? It's like, I don't have to be as meticulous. And I think, and I'm never not meticulous enough that it factors, And a lot of times I hit those games. A lot of times. I consider parlays the same. With that. But, Brian, what are you looking at here? You probably have an opinion.
Yeah, I think that early on I liked Minnesota. I thought the public would be back in Michigan, but that's not the case. So they kind of ruined it for me in this one. I think it goes over the total. I know it's a Big Ten Michigan defensive matchup, but I think it creeps over.
I'm going to stick with with Minnesota here. I'm not trusting Jim Harbaugh in a rivalry game. I think the seat's hot from opening day.
Rod?
I like Minnesota early in the week, and I think there's just way too many people on Minnesota now. I'm going to take Michigan. I think they get the win. Give me Michigan.
Okay. So the thing is, I know like all the college fight songs. Singing the Michigan in my head. Northwestern versus Maryland. I don't know. Northwestern's not a win by 11.5 point team. Brian giving us a good look at his bill of his hat there. We got to get Brian a different setup. We need him to have a monitor up here, right?
It'd be nice to have it right here.
Well, no, then we're gonna see the side of your head. It's like you got to keep everything kind of in front. Like I have monitors here and here, but it always looks like it's like for the most part I'm looking forward. You never have.
Yeah, I had to tick my screen up because the Maryland Northwestern was on the next page.
Yeah, I know. So we got to figure out a way to fix this. We will. We'll get it. We always do.
I think they're the Northwestern Maryland. I think Maryland is just that bad, and I mean, line's moved up a bunch of points here. There's no way. I'm not betting the game, but if I had to, I would take Northwestern. I think they get a statement win, even though they're usually not a team you want to lay double digits with.
Holy crap, man! We're almost on kickoff for the early games.
We haven't given out our parlays yet either.
No, should we stop and do our parlays? Chris, why don't you give out your pick quickly here, Northwestern Maryland?
Maryland.
Maryland for me as well. Rod.
Call me crazy. I'm going to take Northwestern, and I think they cover those crazy points.
Wow, that's nuts. All right.
Yep.
Chris, what do you like for your parlay? We'll come back and cover the rest of the
line.
card. There's only a few games, but we want to get the parlays out.
Yeah, three money line dogs for me: TCU, Navy, and shit. What was it? Wake Forest.
Rod?
For me, go Navy plus the points, Ohio State minus the points, and Wake Forest plus the points. Parlay those three up.
Brian?
Rutgers plus the points, Navy plus the points, UCF minus the points.
I'm going for a 6-team parlay here. I like Wake Forest, Penn State, Missouri, NC State, LSU, and Rice. 6-team parlay. How's that for my birthday? Double bird cage. All right, back to the games. We're almost done. And then we got the World Series. We got Fresno and Hawaii.
Give me the Rainbows here plus the points. Lines moved a bunch of points. I think Hawaii is better than Fresno State. And you're getting points. I think it's good value here.
New coach, new quarterback at Hawaii. Nick Rolovich gone, but he hasn't left the cupboard bare. That's for sure.
I like Hawaii.
I love Hawaii. Chris?
I'm gonna go with the over here. It's over 65.5.
Oh.
Take Hawaii in the points.
Got Miami against Virginia. Brian?
Too many people on Miami here. I don't love Virginia, but boy, I see it up to 14.5 now. If I can get that number, I'll bet Virginia. If it's 14 or less, I've just steered clear.
Chris?
Yeah, I'm on Miami here. I just don't like what I've seen from Virginia in terms of quarterback play. So give me the Hurricanes.
Yeah, give me Miami. We win by 3+ touchdowns.
Yeah, Miami's looked bad last week, but I expect them to be a lot sharper. Got to remember the last game in the Orange Bowl before they closed it down and wrecked it was Virginia, and Virginia beat Miami about 45-0 in that game. And tell you what, Canes fans haven't forgotten. And Manny Diaz is not just the coach; he's also a Canes fan. Always grew up a Canes fan, just like me, and I'm sure he hasn't forgotten either. Anyways. Got UTSA against La Tech.
Oh, give me the over here. I think we see both teams going up and down the field, getting some points, and I don't see any reason why I can't get over that number here. Looks a little bit less than what I thought it would be.
Chris, you think this one's in the encyclopedia for the picture? Do you think this one, when you look up shit game, that this is maybe this is the
I didn't even look at this game.
The example? Well, it's a shit game, Brian. I asked Chris. It was a rhetorical question. It is a shit game.
Yeah. Give me Louisiana Tech. There's not enough toilet paper to clean up this shit game.
Give me La Tech by the field goal. Minus the 2.5. They win by field goal. Yuck. Ugly game. Is he even on TV?
I will have to check out mattsars.com and find out. Got SMU against Cincinnati. This line is inverted because the COVID Cincinnati stuff. Brian?
I think this is SMU's year. This might be one of the better free picks for me. I really like the Mustangs here. I know Cincinnati, normally teams coming off of a little COVID break come out with like gangbusters, but I think SMU makes a statement here and gets a nice little win against Bearcats.
Chris?
Yeah, I'm on the over here. I think both teams get their fair share of points, and I think this is going to be a back and forth game the whole way. But yeah, I like the over.
Yeah, we've considered doing a members-only live show. I just don't know how to do it. So I do know how to do it. I just don't know how to. Like, there's logistics involved there. I want to continue to do our regular live shows, but I do want to do a members live show. But then we have to decide like what kind of content's going to go in there, how much premium picks, how much to charge for something. There's a lot more going on there. There's a lot more to go in than just say, all right, we'll have a premium show and we'll give out picks there that we won't give out to the other shows. And then, there's a balance. All right. I cut someone off.
SMU at home here. Give me SMU minus a 1.5 here at home.
I like Cincinnati all day. All day and all night. I think they beat them up. I think they hit those little receivers coming over the middle, and they say, I don't want to go anywhere near that again. I like the way Cincinnati sends the I like teams that send the message. Miami, like my old Miami teams that I love. The ones I always talk about. They all knew how to send the message. They always had a safety, a Sean Taylor, Ed Reed. Someone send the message. Ray Lewis, send the message, man. You gotta send the message.
That's SMU's initials. Send Message University. SMU. They're gonna send the message.
NC State on the field here against North Carolina. The games are kicking off. We got BYU and Texas State.
Boy. It's kind of like the college season in a nutshell here as far as Sharps versus Public. I'm going to take – Texas State's been good to me this year. I've won a couple times with them. So give me that 29.5. Give me Texas State. I think they keep it with – I think BYU wins by 4 touchdowns here. Barely.
I think BYU's got to keep putting up blowout wins to make a case to the committee for anything. So I think even though 28 points is convincing, I think they do it by more than that. I think it's at least a 5 touchdown win. I'm going to lay the points at BYU. Got 45-10.
Rod?
Give me Texas State the points. That's too many.
It just seems like a lot. I don't know. I don't love that one for a late night bailout. Got San Diego State up against UNLV. Brian?
Oh, I've seen some crazy UNLV covers late at night, so I'm going to back UNLV here and take the points. It's not a game I'm wild about or rushing to bet, but if I had to, I'd take the running Rebs.
Chris?
I'm going to go San Diego State. This one feels just 27-10. Low scoring game, but yeah, Aztecs just run all over them.
Kind of looks like last night's game, right? Rod?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, give me the under 50.5 here. I think we stay under that number.
And Air Force San Jose State. I really like this one. Ryan?
Total opened at 60.5. It's up to 63.5. I'm going to go with the Public on this one. I think it goes over the number, even though we see Air Force likes to run a little bit. But I think it goes over. Give me the over.
Chris?
I'm on Air Force here. It's a heavily weighted pick, but I like the Falcons.
Rod?
I waffled on this game back and forth and back and forth. I'm gonna take San Jose State plus the points.
Love San Jose State in this spot.
I think it's closer than
looks way too hot. It's like Air Force coming up 41-7 win against the, it's like, no way. Why is the line 7? The line, if the line was 16.5, I would think more of it, but at 7, it's like, got to take San Jose State. If you can get 7, it's up to 7.5 even.
Yeah, 7.5 is possible. You can grab that.
Speaking of matriculating the ball down the field, NC State just slicing up the Tar Heels here in the early going.
It's a little bit early. It's like 4 minutes in.
Yeah, I'm getting 15.5 points, man. It's like, believe me, I'm already up 15.5.
I was like,
I know, but I'm already up 15.5 to nothing. So it's like you can't afford to give up early points when you're laying better than 2 touchdowns.
No sweat.
Ooh, going to the Wildcat here. Got the World Series. Oh, my God. North Carolina. Oh, what a tackle. Looked like he was going to be gone. World Series. Major League Baseball.
For me, I think you got to go with the Rays here. I think it's just like in Game 2, I bounce back to push it further. I'm not betting the game, but if I had to, I would take the Rays.
Chris?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Dodgers on the run line. I just don't trust
Pathetic square. Rod.
That's what I gave on the drive-through last night. Senior Square. I like Senior Square. I will take the Dodgers on the run line again.
I'm embarrassed for you. I'm going to take the over, which has been a lock in this series.
Gonna get Al to ship you guys some Dodgers.
Yeah, really. Who's your team? Whoever won the Super Bowl, whoever won the World Series, right? It's like, let's make them your team. We'll get you some Tampa Bay Lightning swag.
I don't want any Tampa Bay Lightning swag. I'll burn
you're
stuff.
getting it. You're getting it.
I know what you do Rod for Christmas is a Tampa Bay Lightning hat and send it out to him.
We gave out our parlays already. I believe the only of my games that have gone off that are in the parlay is the NC State game. So Wake Forest, Penn State, Missouri, LSU, and Rice still available as my parlay teams out there. Anyways, thanks everyone for joining us. It was a long show, hour and 47 minutes. Boy, I don't think we could begin any earlier, except maybe if we begin on time. That's what we'll try and do next time out. Of course, we'll try and act more professional tomorrow for NFL Sunday. Have a great day. Thanks everyone for joining us, and thanks for all the happy birthday wishes. I'll be back maybe in a little bit, do some Totally Mitch, watch some games with you guys.